Hey, this is Trent Cotney, CEO of Cotney Attorneys and Consultants, and this is another Cotney Industry Update. A lot's been going on in the last couple of weeks, and what I want to do is give you all the HR, safety, and legal news you need to know in less than 5 minutes. I know you guys are busy, so I'm just going to get right to it. First thing that you need to watch out for is increased state and federal legislation that impacts your business. Okay, a great example of this is just a few days ago on March 19th, California Governor Newsom approved a Senate bill that would create additional COVID-19 supplemental paid sick leave. So that's interesting, okay? It affects your employees if you're out there in California. Some other legislation that I've seen has discussed increasing the Paycheck Protection Program deadline to apply from March 31st until May. That's probably a good move. But my message to you is definitely pay attention to what's going on in both your state and on the federal level, because they are constantly making new law. Okay, it's a full-time job for us, so it's something that I want to keep you guys alerted to. We are not out of the woods yet. You can anticipate that there is going to be a lot more legislation that's going to affect you both from a safety and an HR standpoint. Next thing I want to talk to you about is OSHA. Now, I mentioned to you guys in a previous video or on a post that OSHA had a national emphasis program that was specifically designed to focus on COVID-19. And the reason why they did this, I'm assuming primarily they got a lot of heat from their tepid response last year. As part of this national emphasis program, we are definitely seeing an uptick in inspections and citations related to COVID-19. Okay, and what they are doing is focusing on high-risk areas. So if you are a contractor that is engaged in work on, let's say, a nursing home or a school or a high-traffic retail area, you can anticipate that you've got a greater likelihood of being inspected. So you want to make sure that you've got your training in place for COVID-19, that you're engaged in the proper CDC and OSHA protocols. Just be aware that you can anticipate more inspections as a result of that national emphasis program. Along those lines, it's our job to kind of read the fine print. And recently we saw the SBA put out some additional guidance to kind of clarify some things on the Paycheck Protection Program. As part of that, they updated their Forgiveness app. And what's interesting is when you apply for forgiveness, you've got to certify a variety of things. Okay, one of the things that you have to certify to is that your company is in compliance with the applicable OSHA requirements and will remain in compliance during the life of the PPP loan, okay? So what that language implies is that if for some reason you don't follow OSHA rules, that your forgiveness may not happen, okay? Now, I don't have any specific instances of this occurring, but let me give you a hypothetical, okay? Let's say you get cited by OSHA for a COVID-19 violation prior to submitting for forgiveness, okay? Or prior to receiving forgiveness. Are you in violation of that certification? Okay, this is something that you need to think about carefully before you just stroke that check to OSHA. You might want to think about contesting things, figuring out how to deal with that, especially if you are dealing with forgiveness. So this is an area of the law that we're just now kind of getting into, but it raises an interesting issue. Last thing I want to mention to you. We've had a lot of phone calls regarding change orders and issues, either getting them approved or having issues downstream with your subcontractors. What I'm going to do here is provide you with a contract provision. It's going to pop up here shortly. And the idea behind it is that in your contract, what you want to do is you want to specifically state who has authority to execute a change order. Now, why do you want that? You want that because there's a ton of case law out there, applies in almost every single state, that says that even if your contract says you can't get any money unless a change order is signed in writing, there are ways around that, okay? There are ways to modify that via email or orally or all those types of things. So in order to get around that, if you're dealing with subcontractors downstream, what you want to do is you want to say John Smith is the only person that has the ability to authorize a change order. It's not your project manager, it's Vice President John Smith. That way, if you don't get that person's signature, it gives you a much better argument to defeat that change order claim. Again, we'll keep you updated. If I see anything in the interim, I try to put these out every 2 weeks. I'll make sure to post it on LinkedIn, Facebook, and Twitter. Any questions for me, feel free to hit me up, tcotney@cotneycl.com. As always, we appreciate you guys. Thank you.